Gamesmanship here, there, everywhere. Men battling for the final treasure. Day after tomorrow, again and again, granted to the victor is the cup. Table drenched in sweat and vice, boards varnished in blood and tears, only to emerge when all is said and done. Feasting on open fire, standing in huddled masses, sharp tongues in multitude, though all in jest, debate in fury, hold one's ground, each will wrangle till order is met. Men finding camaraderie once and every year, spanning the region the rain remains, yet spirits are high as each will find the way. Hear, hear to you that heard the call, honored am I to know you all.
Welcome back to the Menstown Minute, everybody, where we take just a little bit more than a minute to discuss all things Menstown. And guess what? It's Saturday night, baby! Woo-hoo! Yeehaw! Let me tell you something. We've got a jam-packed show for you. We are ready to rock and roll. So hide the kids, stow away the wife, and buckle your seatbelts because it is on. Because we've got the nominations. We're releasing the nominations for the Men's Townie Awards, first ever. And, of course, the reason why we're all here, the main priority is because this is the draft order selection show. So, without further ado, let me introduce you my bud, my colleague, and my friend, Bud. So, get over here, Bud. Bud, we I'm a little
Looking
caught
great,
in the
pal.
tub. I'm gonna tell you something.
We have made it. You know, it's like you go, you keep firing up that mountain, and you get to the top, and it's a beautiful view.
It's a beautiful
isn't it?
view. It's a beautiful view. Let's hope we prolong that stay at the top. I mean, this is
again. You look amazing.
I feel great. I feel great.
I mean, I know you went through some stuff there. I'm so glad that you are here. We're back.
We've all been through
the final
some stuff,
show.
Let me tell you.
This is fantastic.
How are you feeling,
Beautiful.
bud? I love the hat. I mean, you.
Hey, what do you think, huh? You know, we went a little bit Cubano tonight.
Well,
It's
crazy. I talked to Peg and I was like, "Oh, hey,
Yeah.
can you get Bud over here? Let's get the show going."
Yeah.
And we're going for a night out.
Well,
in
yeah,
town?
you know, we walk into the set every night. You know, we come in like bums. Peg is just an amazing woman, and you know, she's never been on camera. She doesn't want to be. She puts all this together. All of this is not us, guys. Not us.
See, I mean, see what she did with my hair?
The hair,
I mean,
the guy.
Unbelievable.
The
Peg,
guy
you're
is
beautiful.
a complete mess when he shows up here. Peg turns him into something.
You know.
Let's take a selfie. I wish I had, you know, I don't got my thing. Wow.
Well, this is exciting.
Did you say something about a Men's Townie Award?
Men's Townie? Yeah. I mean,
The forefathers.
Are they out of control?
You know, I mean, controversy or not, I don't know if you saw those Clear Lake photos.
Oh.
Holy guacamole.
That is huge. That is huge. I mean,
yeah, I mean, that's not going to bring you out of a coma.
There was you can say that again. I mean, those views are fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, you're probably going to have to wander. You can't walk the streets tonight. You might get attacked by a meth head. But, I mean, it is beautiful. It's beautiful. I mean, the forefathers really knew what they were doing. There was a lot of controversy with this Clear Lake pick.
Well, obviously, the forefathers knew what they were doing once again.
Yeah, they are.
The vote legitimate, came up with a four-way tie. The forefathers broke the tie with Clear Lake.
Yes.
Obviously, no votes on the Clear Lake, but a vote now in this corner.
It's like everybody's swimming this way,
Yeah.
and we're like, oh, we're all going this way, and the forefathers say, no, we're going to go this way.
They never cease to amaze me.
Oh,
amazing,
yeah.
amazing,
It is
man.
amazing. Hey, before we get any further, this segment is brought to you by Red Bull. Now, Red Bull does give you wings, doesn't it? On a Saturday night, it is...
Well, they say the Red Bull vodkas, if you can't fake it, you make it. Red Bull vodka.
Woo!
Saturday night,
Yeah,
Men's
Saturday
10. I mean, bud, this is it. This is an unscripted affair. We've got draft scrolls in here. We've got men's townies. What is going to happen tonight? Who knows?
But can you just 2 weeks from now? Right. It's Saturday night in Clear Lake.
2 weeks. Yeah, we're 11 days out. We're 11 days out.
What is going on at this time? 2 weeks in Clear Lake. Who's winning? Who's losing? I mean,
well, of course, it's a Saturday night, so we got to count out the Dominics, right? The DTs and the Dom Jenga. They're already completely obliterated and out of the tournament.
Oh, well,
whoever their teammates are, sorry about that, but that's just the state of how it goes. But we're in the championship match probably about now, wouldn't you say?
Well, I mean, give or take an hour or two, depending upon how things go. I mean, this is...
I mean, can you believe that we may see a changing of the guard. If a cup is won by maybe one or two guys, a Clay or Levette, we may have a number one player to take home the cup forever.
That is really
something.
Somebody wants to get the cup.
Yeah,
you know?
and I've heard there might be a cup burning ceremony.
Well,
I mean, there is a lot going on at this men's tent.
There's a lot
it's
of
gonna be the biggest thing you boys have ever seen.
A lot of balls in the air, you know. Here, take your balls and shove them. You know, that's what I say.
The jiggling, baby.
Hi-bye.
This is a great night. I'm so jacked up on Red Bull vodka because if you can't fake it,
you make it. And we've made a couple.
Wow, we have made a couple. We're flying high. Up, Peg? Peg, come on. Peg, just come out here and at least show the men your face. This has been, it's been years.
You're so cute. You're so cute.
Hey, look, no one believes that, nothing ever, we all know nothing happened. All right,
I'm not going to even bother with that little harassment suit.
I agree.
Don't worry about it. Well, she gets
gonna,
real tense. She gets real tense.
You
She
know.
doesn't like the jocularity
Well,
and the masculinity.
Yeah, you know.
You might be better in a freaking comment. You know what? You can't handle the men, then.
She's
get
got
out of
fire
town.
in the furnace,
She
boy,
does.
you know. I mean, just to
Hey,
tap a little bit.
Do
of
the carpets
Here we go.
match the drapes?
All right,
let's
what do
go.
we got? So, what do you want to talk about tonight?
Well,
bud?
I mean, there's a lot of things, but I really want to get down to the gist of what it means for these men to win the trophy. Like, obviously it's important, but we have, I guess that's what the Men's Townie Awards are all about. It's like the men are going to choose who is the best. The men are going to choose who, let's take a look at some of these
Well, before you get into that, I mean, you know, obviously we're going to release those, what the categories are and the nominations here in a moment. But the Men's Townie Awards, I think, is just a recognition of greatness and not so greatness.
You mean, whoa, this isn't just a celebration of deeds at Menstown? You mean some of the, shall we say, unfavorable moments will be awarded?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you talk about Menstown, you know, what embodies Menstown is a little bit of everything.
Really?
You know, you've got guys that can win, you've got guys that can drink, you've got guys that bring enthusiasm to the table. The Men's Townies are going to bring all that together.
Even if their play isn't exemplary, you know, they still can be awarded for other aspects that they bring to Menstown.
And I think we'll touch on that in the Hall of Fame, where, you know, the Hall of Fame is not strictly a tournament award. It's going to be the total embodiment of what Menstown is all about.
Because it is called Men's Town, not Men's Tournament.
That's right. That is correct. That's right. Well said.
Thank you.
I mean, I got to say, you are back and slick. Last show, a little sluggish.
Yeah.
Obviously, the meds, you know, you've
the
gotten
meds, and I'm still getting over that little neck injury.
Yeah,
but
you all cleared up there?
It's fine. It's more like a big pimple now.
Just back to zits.
I just got to get rid of the pus and the ooze. So sometimes I squeeze it and just kind of releases all the pus. It's really cool,
Well,
and I smell it. You know, like after I do it, it's like I smell it in my hands.
Perfect.
You know, it's really nice.
What do we got in here, by the way?
Well, is this?
Look at these little suckers. Look like tiny cigarettes. I've seen these suckers before. Oh, are any of these marked? I mean, what do we? How do we approach
they're
these?
all unmarked, and it is a very random thing.
This is scroll heaven right here.
Is that what they call a scroll soup? A scroll soup.
Scrolls all over you. Imagine having a bath of scrolls.
God, can you imagine eating these? It was like, oh,
you know, like having like 9 Hilleguses and 7.
Well, what do we got? I mean,
7 whatever Benicini.
This is
scrolls. Let's remind the men about the scrolls. Yeah,
this is the Menstown Draft Order Selection Show. I mean, all the other stuff we're going to be talking about is, you know, null and void compared to what's going on right here in this little, this large cup, the Menstown Cup. We have a number of scrolls here. Real fast, run through like how it works.
Yeah, no, you know, Hillegas being the 8th ranked player will have the most scrolls in here, and then just goes down the line. You got number 7. I don't even know. I don't know, Mom.
What is those rankings? What are those rankings?
You got Ratto, you got Rosen, and so on. And so this will have less and less scrolls.
Number 1 is Benny.
Number 1, Number 1, Benny, Clay, Lovett, Maloney, Reyes, Rosen, Ratto, and Hillegas.
Wow.
So yeah, Hillegas will have the most scrolls, and then Ratto will have 1 less scroll, and down to the final. Benicini, number 1, will have 2 scrolls in there.
Sure.
That's how we work it.
Let me
ask
you. Of course,
Benicini's just to interrupt you there, had that scroll pulled a couple of years ago. And got like the 2nd pick. You know?
What?
He's a very fortunate man.
He's always been, and he's not even Irish.
You know.
Let me ask you this: out of all the scrolls in here, what competitor needs to have their name chosen first? Like, who needs to get that number 1 pick?
Oh, Hillegas. He's got to have it. He's got to have it, and he's got to pick Jones. The rest of these guys need work. I think Spencer is a little high on his horse.
He is.
He's coming. He's not coming. Likes to play his little games. Spencer, I think, probably goes 2nd.
Hey.
Jones is the hot guy who gets to the finals.
Let me say this
every year.
Spencer, you need to come. All right,
Yeah.
there's no jogging
These are
around.
really
here.
cool.
Aren't those
huh?
cool?
Tubs?
Yeah, well, Peg got those. I think she got them from
Where
Venice.
does she get these?
Well,
These are
she
like
does a lot of
high quality raiment. She gets discounts.
She travels
Discount.
the world and to suit us up, and to get us our gear. Because this show doesn't work without a little panache, a little style, a little je ne sais quoi,
If she wasn't a lesbian,
they can all be turned.
as you tell me.
They can all be turned. You just got to offer them the right, shall we say, amuse-bouche.
So what now, bud? What do we do now?
All right. Well, bud, we're getting on to the Men's Townie Awards.
All right.
I don't know how best to describe it, but it is a conglomeration, an amalgamation. It's a thing where it's just 10 years of Menstown gets ripped into like one ballot. And how is that going to work, bud? What is going to happen here?
Well, it's going to be it's going to be gut wrenching to see how some of these play out. A couple of these awards are the full field of men. The others, there's nominations. And we're going to see those.
And how are they gonna?
Why don't we take a peek at the first category?
Well, no. But first and foremost, how are the men gonna vote? What is gonna happen? What is
right. So we'll go through the nominations here tonight, and then in the email thread there, you'll get a ballot. You'll fill out. You'll fill out.
Is that
going
to be a PDF ballot or?
I don't know what a PDF is.
It's like a little piece of paper.
That's the peg.
Yeah, peg.
Again, the wizardry of Peg. She will send you out an email with the ballot. You'll fill it out. You'll email whatever email she tells you to email, and it'll go into get calculated and put in an envelope and brought to Menstown.
Okay, but how do we make sure that these ballots don't get corrupted? I mean, these men. Everybody wants to be, they want their name on their cup.
Yeah.
But to be in the Menstown Hall of Fame, there could be some chicanery going on.
Well,
How do we ensure that the men's vote, especially in this?
The forefathers will review everything, and they will be the ones that seal the envelopes. So, it starts and ends with those guys.
Well, the forefathers brought us Clear Lake, and we have to thank them for them.
Have we ever played pool at Menstown?
Do you think pool is going to play a part?
It very well could. I don't put anything past when you're by a body of water.
Yeah.
Just watch out, man.
Yeah.
I mean, there might be something going on.
There might be some, boat skiing and all that
there
stuff.
could be some sort of obstacle course in the water. Let's just hope for great weather, Ben, because if we get great weather in this location,
anything's possible.
we might have an entirely naked Menstown.
Wow.
And that there in Lakeport, methamphetamines, naked men.
Meth.
This is going to be the most wild Menstown to close things out we've ever seen.
Let's just discuss it. I heard through the grapevine that DT's and Phil were aerial viewing the location. I mean, Robin Leach, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. I mean, this place is fantastic.
I'm Robin Leach.
We got a pool table.
There we are at the Menstown.
This is.
There it is. That's where the ping pong table.
Yeah,
Look, the men are playing badminton.
Holy moly, Batman!
Let's release the first Men's Townie Award nomination.
All right.
First category.
All right.
How's that sound?
And let's start with where it all began. And the nominations for the best Holy Board player are...
Best Holy Board Player.
All right, bud. Well, Menstown is 2 games. It's Holy Boards and beer pongs, with the exception one time was bocce ball.
Bocce ball, yeah.
Bocce ball came into play 2 times.
Right.
But Holy Board is where it really all began. Holy Board is the classic game. It is the gentleman's game.
Right.
It is a game that requires what we call clutchness. You're on the board alone with 3 washes in your hand. You have to hit, and a beverage, I might add.
Right.
How do you break this down? How do you break down the field?
Well, obviously, there's no particular nominations in this category. The whole field is open.
Yeah.
But we know we can pretty much chop it at about the top 5 there.
Yeah.
What I've liked recently is Damian Jones. Last year, he carried a number 1 player in the world, Benassini, on the boards. A sneaky pick, though he doesn't have the pedigree. Hillegas, a great holy board player, goes under the radar because he's always hammered.
Yes.
Can't handle. Obviously, you've got Levette. Clay, not a great holy board player, a really great ping pong player. He has chance in the other categories, possibly. I don't like him here. Benassini's fallen off.
He has fallen off.
I like Levette as the best holy board
Well,
player.
I would say
Spencer Wood, obviously, has
I would say that, Tomasini, Dominic Tomasini, has a lot of great skill, and he just
tickling the ball bag.
Tickling the ball bags
Yeah.
and hitting the shots that count. I think
Don't
he'll
like
be
it.
up there.
He's never gotten off, I think, higher than a 12 seed because he just hasn't come through. You remember, back in Reno,
I'm
this
not
was
quite
just
sure
a
about
holy
that.
board tournament.
I'm not quite sure about
Spencer
that.
Wood won that tournament. I think he's got a real shot here.
Ooh, Spencer Wood to be
I think
the top
Spencer
holy board
Wood.
player. Wow.
I don't like his rapid fire technique.
No,
I think that
it seems
inhibits him a little bit.
counterproductive.
I think, but
Holy board is one of those things where you have to wait. You have to see where the washers.
Right.
You can't just throw them down. I mean, he's throwing washers on top of washers that are still moving.
right.
All right, so on to the next category. Do the honors, bud.
Best beer pong player.
Best beer pong player.
Not much to say here. Again, here are your nominations.
Best beer pong player.
Well, bud, I mean, this is beer pong has taken over Menstown. The intensity, the fire. This is what brought Menstown up to the next level.
Right.
A game that I have tried to describe this game. You say, "Oh, I'm playing beer pong" to some guy or anybody out there in the world.
Yeah.
And they say, "Oh, well, did you throw balls at
They're
the cup?"
tossing ping pong balls
And
like
I tried
babies.
to describe the game to them, and they're enlivened, and
Right.
that's what the game has done to
It's an
Menstown.
athletic
It is-
game. It's a game of skill. It is the tournament, as Paul Reyes, the number 5 player in the world, has said. It starts and it ends on the tables. And
Well,
I
Paul
tend to agree
Reyes
with
has
him.
also said a lot of things that don't make a lot of sense. There are some of us traditionalists out there who would think holy boards should have like the sunshine on it, but no, it's beer pong. That's the men have chosen.
Right.
It's still a democracy, and boy howdy,
Well,
there's a lot of players.
and
Are
again,
there a lot of
the
players?
forefathers being real fair here, like with the holy boards, beer pong. The voting is up to the field. The field is all nominated, so even BJ could win.
Wow. Who gets
We all remember Phil McCauley at Twainard, don't we?
who's this?
in the semifinal. Oh, where's the ball? Phil, are you all right? You glad it's working okay? Yeah, working fine.
Yeah.
Bang.
But I
Love
heard
you, Phil
word
McCauley.
that Phil has been working on his swing, and he's got a lot better. But let's be honest here.
Right.
This field is going to come down to 3-4 players.
Right.
Name the top 3 or 4.
Well, when you're talking beer pong, and ping pong for that matter, you go, where's the Asian? And I think we got to think Clay's going to be right there at the top.
Yes.
He's taken some lower players pretty deep in these tournaments.
Yeah.
And how's he done it? He knows how to serve.
He knows how to
You
serve.
can serve in beer pong. Those are the guys that you see at the top.
Sure.
Clay, Levette, Ratto last year.
Ratto.
The Ratto
Right.
Levette team dominating.
There's no chance
because they
Rado
can both serve.
sniffs the
I don't think he's
award.
got the pedigree to get there, but he might get a couple of votes.
But let's get
from
down to
people
the
that
big
are
boys.
anti.
All right, you got 3 horses.
You got Benassini, of
Levette,
course.
Benny,
Right.
and Clay. Who do you
Right.
choose, bud?
I don't like what I've seen out of Benassini recently.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Obviously, I think Levette is the best beer pong player, but I give the edge to Clay because he's had more success out there
Yeah.
on the tables.
well, it is an amazing serve. It swerves. I've had an opportunity to see videotape of it. It is a difficult
It's
serve,
a tough serve
to
handle.
pop up.
He keeps it low. He keeps it hot.
Yeah.
Another
always
another
moving.
guy, who's going to disagree with all of this, of course,
Yeah.
is Paul Reyes, number 5.
Oh,
Paul
of
Reyes,
course.
unlike
Does
Rosen and these guys who know they're not good enough, but they're good. Reyes thinks he's a top-notch
Well,
player.
he does. He has.
And I don't see it.
He has the arrogance of an Obama, but he is truly mistaken as is Obama. But that being said,
Allow myself
Yeah.
to introduce myself.
yeah. But this being said, I think another name that never gets mentioned is Dominic Tomasini. I mean, he is got a wonderful serve. He's had a lot of those hole-in-one cups where, I think...
You know who's a really good beer pong player is Dan Maloney. Now, Maloney has won 2 cups. The problem with Maloney is the serve. The serve isn't there,
Well,
so he's not a double threat. And if he doesn't have a great partner, he can't carry a team. So
well, I think he's so busy scratching his own balls that he's not able to actually handle the ping pong ball. This is a guy who,
we're
say
having
what
a
you
great
want.
time tonight. It's Saturday night.
It's Saturday
It's the
night,
final
bud.
show.
This is
What's the next
fantastic.
Men's Townie?
All right, the next. Okay, this is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And the nominations for the best Men's Town moment are
Ladyboy, starring Clay. Dom Jenga, Timber Cove, starring Hilligus. Lavette slips and falls in Lagoon, starring Lavette. Spidey Dance, starring BJ. DTs and Reyes miss train from Reno, starring DTs and Reyes. Bugs flips over table, starring Bugs. Maloney drops in 2 5s and wins cup, starring Maloney and Reyes. Stinson Beach wrestling match, starring Reyes, Bugs, and DTs. Losers drink 40 ounce, starring Hilligus and Delsano. Baby shits on shoe, starring Maloney and Baby.
well.
That was a lot of fun. Put the shades on.
Put the shades on, because this is when we start getting down to the juice. Now, the forefather, tell me, how did they assemble all these various moments from all these men's towns over 10 years?
Well, we talked about how, at the Hall of Fame, it's not all about the tournament. The Men's Town is an embodiment of camaraderie, antics, just friendship.
What do you
fun.
bring to the town?
What are you bringing? So these Men's Town moments, they're not all just, someone making a great shot or, I won this match or whatever. It's about happenings at Men's Town that were legendary.
No, but I haven't been, obviously I've been covering Men's Town, but I haven't actually been there. There's a couple moments that I'm not familiar with. What is this Lady Boy starring Clay? What does that mean?
I think there was a moment in Occidental where Clay, number 2 in the world, was captured ducking out of play and fun and camaraderie in bed with covers pulled over, and he looked like a little lady boy.
Really?
Like a boy that had a little bit of everything.
Clay is, I understand.
Delicate looking.
He's Asian.
Pretty.
He's from Thailand.
Yeah, he's a Thai.
Really. And there's a lot of lady boys where that comes from.
I've never been,
in
but
that
apparently
land,
there's some of the boys don
It's interesting.
dual threats.
Shouldn't he be banned from Men's Town? Because if he's being a lady boy, he's not
Well,
really
if you've
a
ever
man.
seen the photo of Lady Boy, it is so precious.
Yeah, he is.
I mean,
Like the
initially,
porcelain doll. I've seen
I'm
that.
all over
Yeah, I've
Lady
seen
Boy.
that, yeah.
Initially, I see Lady Boy, and I
Yeah.
want to vote for Lady
Yeah.
Boy.
Oh, really?
Of course, we don't have a vote, but if I had a vote,
If you had a vote,
it's right at the top.
Let's get into one of these other ones. I mean, we got Lavette slips in a lagoon.
Classic moment.
What an idiot!
An obvious choice by the forefathers.
Really, that was
Real cocky. I'm going to dive in, grab the football in the air, and make a big splash. Get $20. Of course, Lavette's broke at the time.
Yeah. Anything for money.
And then he runs down to the dock, and of course he slips, falls, and rolls into the water in front of everybody.
Wow.
What a horse's ass.
Wow, and obviously it was something that
These are delicious.
they're so good. They're
If you
so
can't
good.
fake it,
You make it. one nomination that actually has to do with the tournament. Maloney drops 2 washers.
Incredible
In
move.
the 5-hole to win the cup in Reyes. And
I think the
Samson.
front runner.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think some of these are real silly and fun and hokey and let's dance around the fire.
Yeah.
Maloney dropped those 2 washers in. That was the most incredible thing I've ever seen.
That was amazing. I think we discussed that was at Twainhart, and
Right.
the optics were delicious because you have holy boards up against the house
Yeah.
under the lights.
You being
And-
such a holy board fan.
Oh, I'm a huge holy board. I love that game. And
Purist,
I
purist.
know. I think DT's or Dominic Tomasini might actually
He manufactures them.
manufacture.
That's right. He does.
holy
He
boards.
does. He's manufactured all the holy boards we play with.
Well, that
and they
means-
are for sale.
Yeah.
$85.99 retail.
No,
Might
no.
get a promo
Actually,
code
I
on this
believe
show.
that the price is inflation. The prices have raised to 110, maybe
Oh,
120.
okay.
Yeah.
But with promo code Ladyboy, $79.99
There you go, there you
only
go.
tonight.
What a great moment that was.
Yeah.
So it was probably
Incredible.
the most.
The porpoises, the whole
the
thing.
four people in the hot tub. It was fantastic. Now I'm seeing here in the list we
Yeah.
have 2 wrestling matches that are
Right.
what's going on with this wrestling at Menstown? What is it up with the men where they want
Yeah.
to beat each other up?
Well, the Reyes DTs seem to be the instigators of this. They've been involved. The two controversial moments in Menstown involve these guys wrestling and missing the train.
Oh no!
The
yes.
DT's Reyes, though very different when it comes to the tournament, very similar when it comes to the spirit of Menstown, and that is just outrageous behavior.
Outrageous behavior, but I think it probably has a lot to do with competition, and wrestling is one of the earliest forms of competition
Right.
amongst men and women.
I gotta say, my sneaky favorite in this is because it's fresh in the men's minds. Was this last year? Old Spidey coming into the beer pong room with his little Spidey dance had everybody rip roaring after with that footage.
It really, but this is one of those things where at the moment nobody really, it was like wow, everybody was so jacked up, but that is something where the footage has lived on and on.
Viral.
This is viral. Yeah, that's a viral.
So
Menstown
the
moment.
question is, Maloney's in here twice, baby shitting on his shoe, an epic moment.
Ugh.
Perfect little swirl right on top of his Converse. Who wins for you in all of these epic moments?
Golly, the best Menstown moment. I'm looking over it, and I gotta say the Twainhart moment. I wasn't there. I did see some video footage where Maloney dropped the 2 washers in.
Yeah.
It really comes down to the competition.
Right.
Levette falling into the lagoon was a wonderful moment, but on the other hand, it was just a brief moment. But the finality of what happened when he dropped those 2 washers in,
Right.
who would have freaking thunk it? Who would have thunk it? And it broke a lot of people's hearts. With that, let's move on.
Well,
What
I'm
about you?
going to go off the reservation on this one. There's so many obvious choices
Yeah.
here. For me, and I'm going to get a lot of heat for this, I think. And some guys wanted to throw this guy out for this moment.
Yeah.
But I think when you look back on Menstown, you're going to see that this is the passion that we have
Right.
created.
Let me guess. Bugby turns table over in Timber Cove.
This poor cup has a humongous crack.
He did that!
All the way down
He did that?
the cup because of the spirit of one man.
Bugby,
He was so infuriated by a claim of sobriety that he flipped the whole table
he
over.
almost ruined the cup.
He turns around, he's so more sober than the other guy on the breathalyzer. It was the best moment I think
Talking
we've ever
about
had.
eating your shoes.
That is passion. I would give it to Bugby.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. We beg to differ.
Next
Now,
category.
next category is the best tournament team.
Best tournament team. Clay Maloney at Boulder Creek. Levette Benny at Clear Lake. Maloney Reyes at Twain Hart. Rado Levette at Timber Cove. Benny Rosen at Sebastopol.
Well, we've had 10 tournaments, bud. We've witnessed a lot of great teams. Not a lot of not so great teams.
Right.
But this is all about the best teams.
Right.
The best. 10 years. I mean, that is a lot of ping pong. That's a lot of holy boards.
Right.
Hell, that's a lot of Menstown. Talk to me. Where are you at?
You know, I think it's a relative call. You have some of these teams are so great. In certain years, they wouldn't be stopped. In other years, maybe they would. Obviously, Clay Maloney went undefeated in Boulder Creek. Without the Levette meltdown, the knocking over the cups, maybe that doesn't happen. Levette Benny, an epic team. I mean, you put that team in any tournament going forward, they don't get stopped. But I think the Lorado Levette team last year showed why
You mean the
the
team
formula to win the tournament.
the team that
Dominating on the beer pong.
the
with
team
two
that
servers.
did not even blow the proper.
They qualified in the final. They blew the proper number.
What is the proper? I just
Whatever
it's
the
thing.
point, blah blah. They
But-
blew it.
so
they
it's
fine.
legally drunk in California, but it's not basically. It's
Who's
not,
the
it's
best
not
team?
drunk.
Who's the best team?
I would say, and now this has nothing to do with the drinking, but just the gradual rise of Menstown
Yep.
when people started coming there knowing what to expect. Obviously, beer pong got brought in a little later. It took a couple years for men to figure it out.
Right.
I've got to
Good point.
say that when I look at it, it's a toss-up between the Maloney-Reyes team and the Rattle-Levette team. I mean, there was 14 at Schwainhart, and that might isolate some people, but who didn't make it, it was Bugby and Rattle. They're not that good anyways. The Rattle-Levette team at Timber Cove, that was a good win. But
Yeah.
then, again, sobriety comes into question. I'm going to have to go with Maloney-Reyes. That was an intense tournament.
Wow.
I could be
You
wrong.
are so off the reservation that
I'm really
you're-
not that off the reservation at all.
I go Levette Benny. Let's go to the next Menstown Award, the worst
Wait,
team.
the Levette Benny. Oh, I forgot about that, but yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice
Say
one.
it again. The worst.
team.
Worst tournament team. DT's Bugby Clear Lake. Hillegas Del Sano Twainhart. Hillegas BJ Boulder Creek. DT's Maloney Stinson. Bugs Singleton Stinson.
Well, bud, let's be honest here. For every best team, there has to be an equally worse team. We have seen
I love the thinking
a,
of the forefathers.
a lot of bad teams in Menstown.
If you can't fake it.
Yeah, make it. Why don't you make me? If you let me ask you just
Yeah.
start up. Let's be honest. Has there been better teams, more better teams, or more worse
More
teams?
better?
Try
that again.
Have there been better teams, quantitatively speaking? Have there been
I get what you're saying.
better teams in Menstown or worse teams?
I would definitely go worst.
Worse?
Because we've
Yeah.
seen in this nominations that Stinson Beach had 2 nominations in the same year. Like, that is bad.
You
That
can
means
get a lot of
4
bad teams.
horrifically bad players.
A lot of bad teams from every
Right.
Every
And
year.
of course, that was the first year of beer pong. So guys don't know what they're doing. They're banging each other in the face. Bloody Marys are getting poured on heads.
Sure.
You know, it was a bad year, but the first year. And then, of course, there was an asterisk. And
of course,
Levette
the
Benny
asterisk.
should have won, but they won the next year.
No, that's really yeah. Okay, so this being said, there should be an award for the most so-so team, but the worst team is
Yeah.
what we're focusing
Right.
on. Let's go through some of this. There was the DT's Bugby team at Clear Lake.
And,
What?
you know, this has
What
to be the
happened
front
there?
runner.
You know,
Because these two guys had played together for, I think, 3 years running.
3 years running.
It was an amazing turn of randomness where they continued to get placed together and they continued to fail horribly.
and they would bicker
And they
and
would
fight.
bicker and fight, and they
And
would
just
have,
give
you
each
know,
other
they would whip
faces.
out the blame thrower.
Yeah.
and just
Showering.
torch each other.
Showering each other in blame. Yeah.
It was unbelievable. And
All
of
right,
course,
let's-
DT's has gone on to blame everybody that he's ever played with since. So it's
I
not,
think-
it's not an uncommon
I think
thing.
that's not
But
completely
that team
unfounded.
was horrific every year.
It's
I think
not
they might have had
completely
one good
unfounded.
year, but the Clear Lake year was bad.
All right, now on to the next. Hillegas Del Sano.
Yeah, there was a run of
And
Hillegas.
Twainhart.
Well, the Hillegas, Del Sano and Twainhart, and the BJ Hillegas team, I don't think anything will touch it. It's just an obvious winner.
Now, Hillegas Del Sano should be an obvious winner because they are also the best
Double
Menstown
nomination.
loaded, a double nomination. They were forced to drink a 40-ounce of Country Club malt liquor, and I believe one of them might have. Did one of them vomit at that?
I think one of them went to bed.
One of them went to bed.
Yeah,
No,
one of them
no.
went right to bed. You know, these two guys might walk away with a lot of hardware come men's 10.
Well, that's the thing about Menstown. You may be a loser, but you walk away a winner.
I mean, there's something about playing that toilet bowl. I mean, you do get a prize. You know, just
Good.
being good isn't enough.
Well, this
these
is
days.
America.
You're either really bad or you're really good.
Yeah, and in this country these days, everybody gets their awards for C.
I remember what was
average.
his name? And she bangs, and she bangs, and she moves, and it was a Asian guy. You know, like it was so bad.
Oh, it was Ian Little Hung. What was his name?
Hung, or that,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, it was
Mr.
William
Charlie
Hung.
Hung or
Yeah,
something.
William Hung.
William
I think-
Hung.
Was
Yeah,
that his name, William Hung?
He was
Hung.
awful, and everybody loved him.
The fact of the matter is, William
And
Hung wasn't hung. He was like,
This should be
you know?
the annual William Hung Award.
I know. Ooh,
And
well.
I give it to anyone who plays with Hillegas.
Well, I mean, then right below
Oh.
Hillegas Del Sano, you got Hillegas
Yeah.
and BJ. BJ is
Well,
like
and again-
perennially in the bottom half.
He's gotten better.
like the
He's
bottom-
gotten better.
what is he,
that Boulder
15th
Creek
ranked?
was the year that Hillegas couldn't stand the
Oh.
entire Menstown. He's
I
swinging
think-
and missing, and he
No, what
he's
was
just
what
kind
I
of
think
a corpse
Hillegas's thing was
upright.
this was Hillegas's posture. I saw photos like
Yeah.
this, you know, sitting on a chair, you know, and that was at 10 in the morning.
Right,
So,
10 in the morning. That's right.
Homeboy had
Sitting
already
by
done it.
the Trailer. Remember, there was a
But
trailer.
this is funny. You got
poetic.
another team here, DT's
Yeah,
Maloney.
again,
I mean, those are
DT's
two highly ranked
A
teams.
double nominee is
What-
GT's. He's one of those guys that's nominated in every category, and he may come home with no hardware. 'Cause
Unbelievable.
he's just not quite bad enough.
But that
Everyone
team,
every year is so duped into DTs thinking he can win a cup, and every year he just says, "Yeah, I don't care."
oh,
I'm gonna
I
get
don't
wasted."
know. I've talked to DT's Dominic Tomasini, and guess what? He is motivated to
Oh.
win, and he might be sending out a recruiting video to various drafters. This is something to keep an eye out for.
Sometimes
Folks,
when you're tired, guys, and you can't fake it.
you make it.
You make
So we saw the DT's Maloney team just didn't pan out.
Implosion. That was the Bloody Mary over the head. There was almost a fight in the team.
Really?
Yeah, it was really awful.
It was not a good experience.
No.
Interesting.
and That was.
I didn't hear
It was
that.
an interesting time because that was when Maloney was so anti-tournament. He couldn't stand it.
Oh,
And
he's
there was
not
a real
competitive type.
shift
Yeah.
in Clear Lake.
Yeah.
Like him and Clay
Right,
got
oh,
to
yeah.
play together.
Oh yeah, it was like
They battled Benny Levette in the
He-
finals, and things shifted for Maloney. He's
Wow.
been a phenomenal player since.
really. And he has one. His name is on the cup. Finally, Bugby and Singleton.
Oh,
Stinks and
I
beats.
have this stuff written down here, and this part of the paper stinks.
Oh,
There's this little waft of poop and like diarrhea.
you see a lot
And
of
it's
competing
all around
egos.
this Bugby Singleton team. Like
Yeah.
that was one of the worst things I've ever seen.
What was it about that team that was so
Oh,
stinky?
I
I
think
wretched.
they met for the first time at
Oh.
at the pong
It's
table.
hey, how
Like,
are you?
hi, have you ever held a beer
Yeah, yeah.
pong paddle?
Yeah, you're my partner.
What's that?
Yeah. Oh. Your
Have
breast
you ever
smells,
held
you know.
a washer?
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah,
Hi, I'm Matt. Oh, I'm Todd Bugs.
yeah, yeah.
They call me Bugs.
The
You
two
want
of
to
them.
smoke a bowl? Now no, it was awful.
Oh,
It was a bad mixture. Two nice guys, not a nice combo.
Not a nice combo at all. All right. Well, so we've
Last
burnished
category.
that. The last category.
The nominees for
The nominees for the biggest temper coming right at you.
Biggest temper. Jones. Bugs. Wood. Ratto. DTs.
Well,
I mean, the obvious choices. And no surprises here.
there is a little surprise. I don't see DT's name there. I mean,
Well, it was. Yeah, I didn't write it down. I assumed that he was not going to win. He's
But-
not the strongest temper in this group.
no, there are some very
He's got his own demons. But,
highly angry folks that are nominated here.
and I know there's going to be outrage that Levette's not on here because he threw his paddle one year about 400 yards.
Well, that was a passive aggressive. Levette is passive aggressive.
Well, I think if
He's
anyone
not
that's ever
necessarily-
partnered with Mark Simerson can attest to the frustration.
Man, I'm not so sure. Levette has a snarky way about it.
I'm
Trying
all
to,
about
get people-
the temper.
No, not you.
Oh, I'm all about this category.
Oh, you're all about it. Okay. I think Ratto is in the Levette mold. He's passive aggressive. He just makes he just makes these little comments like, "You look good, you do."
Yeah.
But he's not like
goes
overtly
unseen
angry.
a little, right?
And it's like
Right.
you're his partner, and he's like he's angry at you, and you're like,
Yeah.
well, fuck you. But he's not like an overt angry guy.
Right.
I disqualify that guy.
I'll knock him out.
Uh,
At least Bugby, Wood, and Jones.
Now,
Three
let's-
hotheads.
Let's go to Jones. Jones is obviously Ranger stand-up guy.
Right.
Bless his heart. He puts his neck on the line every day. But he does have a temper, but he's kind of like a slow burn. Or he's not, he's
Right.
like a big burn that is just, he's a tempest in a teapot. He's just
Right.
like, he's always
Well,
like,
he's-
"Ah."
yeah. Well, he comes to Menstown and everything is this. It's just straight and
Right,
narrow. It's
But
every one
his
word
head-
answers, and then you get him in that competition, and one thing goes wrong.
And he lets it go.
He
That's
knocks
what-
the cups into the stratosphere.
No. He
Or,
gets in.
you know-
Well, I mean, especially after last year, I understand at Menstown Timber Cove, it was his fault that the cups. That he
And
basically handed the cup to Levette Ratto.
And
He
I
knocked
think
the
that's
cups
why
over.
he might not win this award, because he did walk away from that. I think he knew that they weren't going to win that match.
Really.
But
Hey.
I think Spencer Wood's too snarky to win this award. I think with the Bugby table turn, I don't know how you can't.
Well,
he might be a dual winner with the best moment and the best
This is interesting.
biggest temper.
And you're right, because Spencer, it seems like his anger comes like he knows when he's going to get
Right.
angry. He's just trying to
It's
anger people.
it's contrived.
It's a contrived anger.
I agree with
but
you.
this is organic anger coming from Todd Bugby. Bless
Right.
his
I
heart.
think I think Jones could snap if there was a
There's a
category
freaking crack in the cup.
of who would gun down all of Menstown with an Uzi.
Yeah.
Jones, obviously,
Yeah,
right?
of
Like
course,
he
of
would
course,
snap,
yeah.
he would kill everybody,
Yeah.
and he would go home to his family and be normal.
Yeah.
Right?
But
Bugby is so emotional. He would burn the house and he would turn himself in.
he would get everybody really blazed, and then
Yeah.
he would chop them up.
He would chop him up, and then he would go turn himself.
He got so angry. Oh, well.
What's
great.
next? Is it time?
All right, folks.
Can we go to the soup scrolls here?
This is it.
Look
This
at
is what
these.
you've been waiting. You've
Look at
sat
these.
through this long. Maybe you can go a little longer. Ladies and gentlemen, right after this message from Red Bull, we are going to stir the scroll soup. And right here, you will see the men's 10 draft order coming right at you.
Here we go!
Welcome back to the Menstown Minute. And
We're back,
this
and we're here.
this is the moment we've all been waiting for. All right, this is where we stir the scrolls. This is
Scroll soup.
this is the Menstown draft selection show. All that other stuff we just did means nothing. This is what it all comes down to. Bud, any thoughts before we start spinning the spoon?
Well, we're back again picking scrolls. Last year was the bottom 8. This year, the top 8. To close things out, Menstown 10, men's 10. The top 8 competitors, the best of the best, are going to pick. And that is the way to go.
Really. And it just, it's so exciting, but it's quick rehash.
Yep.
Benny will have 2 scrolls.
Yep.
Clay will have 3 scrolls. Levette will have 4 scrolls. Maloney will have 5 scrolls. Reyes will have 6 scrolls. Rosen will have 7 scrolls. Rado will have 8 scrolls. And Hilligus will have 9 scrolls.
Needs every scroll he can get.
I'm sure.
You know, if scrolls could win championships, Hilligus would be the winner. But sorry.
Yeah, no, it's you would think that he should have an opportunity to choose a great partner, but a lot of times he's the one who steps in the dog shit.
I'm so nervous.
Well, you got to be nervous for these competitors.
I can't speak properly. I want to get into these scrolls.
No, it's just for your,
so much
as an overseer of Menstown and someone who observes it.
Yeah.
I mean, for these guys, this means so much.
This is everything.
This is what they want.
And what we see is you get the first couple of top picks there. Those seem to be the teams that win. A good team wins Menstown.
Indeed.
A bad team does not.
But even after, there's going to be a lot of politicking after the draft order. Mm-hmm. Men are going to be calling the bottom half. Top half's going to be in touch with the bottom half, like, hey, can you make this happen?
Right.
And then there is the war room, which has become a focal point of Menstown. Being called into that room, being interrogated by all the men. On the bottom half is going to be, or the top half is going to interrogate the bottom half.
It's a tense room. It's a room of discovery. It's like somebody's committed a crime.
Yeah.
And they're on the hot seat, and they got to answer questions. And they're getting fired at from all the men. I can't stress enough the pressure that's on with these scrolls.
Yeah.
These men are waiting with bated breath. Where do they pick means everything about where their legacy lies in Menstown history.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. Well, without any further ado, Bud, please.
I don't want to pick the first. I just don't want it to end. I don't want the drama to end. You want to pick the first scroll?
I'll choose the first scroll. We're going to give the soup a little.
You want me to pull it out and hand it to you?
Well, I think that would be nice.
Right,
but hey, I want to give it a nice little. Sometimes with a stew, you're supposed to
one
pop
more
it up.
Sip of RBD.
Just can't be around and around. Here, cheers. Good luck.
Buddy.
Good luck.
Hey, to all you men out
win.
there waiting and longing for that first pick, Hilligus, I do hope it's you. You'll need all the help you can get. Here we go.
And one last thing. Red Bull vodka.
If you can't fake it,
you make it.
There it is. The first scroll. First pick. In the final Menstown, men's 10. And he's got it. I can't even look.
I would never have even thought that this
Is this a surprise?
This is a huge surprise.
It's a big surprise.
This is close your eyes. Close your eyes.
Who's got the first pick? Obviously it's not Hilligus. Because he's got the most scrolls, and it's a surprise.
Close your eyes.
My heart is pounding out of my chest. Who has the first pick in the men's 10 draft?
I'm going to double check this. Uh-oh.
Who's got the first pick in the men's?
It is Paul
Reyes has the first pick in the Menstown draft.
Wow.
He had 6 scrolls in there among so many scrolls. Paul Reyes has a real chance to hit the jackpot here.
I wonder who he's going to choose.
Does
as
he go
his
with the
partner.
lefty? I mean, Jones has to be the first pick here.
Oh, really?
Maybe he goes back to Simerson
I
to
mean,
try and rekindle the
This
magic.
is huge.
Paul Reyes.
Oh, I made a little,
Crooked
just
there.
a little
That's right.
crooked.
There we
Well, I
go.
was so excited. I'm so happy for
You
him.
love Paul Reyes. So you
You-
always have.
Do you
haven't
think he's gonna, make a bunch of tacos when he hears about this? Make a little, have a little
You know,
quesadilla,
the problem is there's no
little-
other Mexicans in the pool here to
No,
pick from.
no, but there's a lot of
So
people.
he's going to probably
who
go
love
with
Mexico,
the darkest
you know?
skin guy
Yeah.
he can find.
Well, I know one guy, olive skin by the name of DT, but Dominic Thomasini. Here we go.
with
number
the
two.
second
number
pick
two.
in the draft
Number two
is going to.
Who's it gonna
These
be?
scrolls are tricky.
They are.
aren't
You just gotta tear them open. I mean, the
And,
forefathers
wow. You know, coming back, the champion. Sorry, I don't know what I'm so nervous. He won a cup last year, and he's going
What?
to try and reclaim his title and build a legacy
What? Are you kidding me?
in Menstown history.
Oh!
Kevin Ratto with the
Wow.
second pick
Ah.
in the draft.
But there's a correlation. Reyes,
Ratto.
Ratto.
Any other R's to go? There is a Rosen. Would we see a Rosen go with the triple R's?
This is
the R cubed, as they
this
call
is
it.
unbelievable.
Wow. I mean,
Reyes,
Illigus again getting
Yeah.
stymied here.
stymied here. It looks like
It's
it's
happened
gonna be-
before when he's had the most scrolls. Del Sano got pinched a year
But
prior.
I think the thing is that you don't have the most scrolls. If you have the
Yeah.
most scrolls, you're
You
gonna
know, go with the
pick
lesser
five.
scrolls.
Yeah. Do the right thing. Oh, help me out.
Okay,
man.
I'm
Would
gonna
you?
pull one for you here. I'm gonna stir the soup, and we've got a scroll here. Of course, there'll be duplicates, and we'll move it along. I'll get another scroll in case this.
Yeah,
one
we're gonna
is a
move this
duplicate.
little thing.
We've got a
forward
backup scroll here. in
Well,
case
I
we've
mean,
got
let's just see
problems.
what's going on here. I mean, just give me a minute.
My heart is pounding out of my chest.
Oh my Lord!
He's got
oh Lord,
another
oh Lord.
scroll that
Wow.
is. I don't know.
Unbelievable.
Menstown, the biggest cup in the history of Menstown, is this year, and who's got the third pick in the draft, bud?
But
You tell me.
three R's make a charm because Adam Rosen.
Unbelievable! The triple R's, the
Triple
R
R.
cubed
Our-
is going 1, 2, 3.
Our sole Jewish representative
Wow,
is on the
we
mark.
got a Jew on the board here.
A Mexican, an Italian, and a Jew.
And a
you know,
Jew.
like,
Wow. I mean, this is unbelievable.
Wow.
Reyes, Ratto, Rosen. Just like
Unbelievable.
that.
Is that
You
how it
know, I
works?
mean, is this,
I'm
what
with
is
me,
this?
bud.
Is this Jones? This could be one of the heavier teams we've seen with Spencer, possibly. A Ratto Wood team.
Well, obviously Dominic Thomasini should fill in any of those slots
I
nicely.
mean, Rosen, again, I mean, he likes
is
to
up
go
with
off
Rosen,
the
you know?
reservation. This is going to be interesting.
Nobody
He had a
even likes
low
that
pick.
guy,
He had
you
a
know?
real low pick at Twainhart. This is going to be interesting to see what he does with a high
Well,
choice.
I mean, it's my turn.
Yeah,
to
you stir the pot.
At the moment, I'm flabbergasted. This is so exciting. And here we go. Now we're starting to get into the meat of it.
I assume we're going to pull a Hilligus now.
Well, we would.
And all will be right with the world.
The funny thing is like every time I pick one up and some falls out, it's
Oh,
like, is that going to be the one? Oh, there's the one. There's the one.
This is another scroll. And, all is right with the world.
Why?
Because
What's
the
going
man
on
with the
here?
most scrolls is now on the board
Oh,
here. Picking
Lordy.
fourth
Lordy,
at
Lordy.
men's 10
It's
will
about
be
time. It's about time.
Hilligus.
Holy moly.
And a decent value
Hey,
here.
that's great,
You know,
you know?
you can pick up a Simerson possibly.
You
here.
could.
You can pick up maybe an emerging Phil McCauley.
Ooh, Phil
You
McCauley.
like the height. You like the holy board technique.
Yeah, he does have a lot of length, Phil McCauley.
And our top three players are going to are going to be picking low. I mean,
Wow.
this is how it should be.
This is amazing. This is exciting too.
Let me pull another scroll out of the soup of scrolls. And there it is.
There we go. I'm not gonna waste.
We'll probably
this
get some
with a lot of
duplicates coming
bluster
up here, so I'll pull another scroll.
Yeah, there you
Stir
go.
the soup.
I mean,
Let's see what we've got here. That one keeps coming up.
Ooh,
All right.
We don't need that.
Pull
And
that
we're going to
scroll
choose that
there.
one. Every little thing I choose, I mean, it could be something
We're
different.
going to get
It's
a
amazing.
couple of duplicates here, but it is rolling along beautifully.
Well, not
and he's
so
got
much.
something here.
Not so
He is now
much.
picked another candidate. Oh, and this is going to be huge. This is a big pull here out of the scrolls. This guy had how many scrolls did he have?
He had exactly
Wow.
3.
He had 3 scrolls of all the probably 40
His
scrolls
name
left.
is Clay
And Clay is picking
Tongapanur.
5th, and that's got to be a front runner to win maybe the tournament. That's a real value pick for
you
him.
drained a lot of the top thing. I mean, he's probably down to a BJ. He's down to
maybe Delsano, BJ possibly down there, but you never know. He'll give an affinity to St. Rita's. He's done Delsano before. You never know. Clay, real happy, I think.
This
there.
is
That's about the best he could have done.
He's got a great opportunity. I noticed there was a message string going along, and apparently I didn't get to read it all the way. It was giving me like NSA, wiretapping, all those rules. But he was talking. He wanted to draft DT, Dominic Tomasini.
Tomasini, it might be interesting how far he falls. If he falls to Clay, I think Clay really is lobbying for that pick.
I don't necessarily think he's going to fall that far at all. But
you pick that next scroll for me.
Next scroll for old Bud here. I mean, I'm sure he's interested, as we're all interested.
Let's pull
Get
this
the next scroll
here.
going here.
Really wound tight
little
here.
soupy scroll stew. How's the stew taste? How's the stew taste?
We gotta get another scroll. It is delicious.
Is it delicious?
Okay, we're gonna pull this scroll out here.
Gonna keep on. I'm not even looking. I'm just picking out scrolls.
Really
I'm just
tape
picking
tight
out scrolls.
here.
Well, that tape is good. Scotch
I
guard.
mean, this is
Scotch.
the integrity of the scroll
tape.
is.
And this is an
unmatched.
American-made product. I mean, look at the engineering.
I don't even know
in
what
that,
the approach is here.
Well, you just got to tear it open, bud. I mean, don't be a
Yeah,
wimp.
that's not gonna do it. And
We
let's
got
pull
another scroll.
Oh, that one. See that one there? You can grab the tape and.
And just I mean,
that one not gonna work. And
yeah,
we're gonna
there's
grab
another one. Now
one
we're
here.
just going through scrolls left and right.
Burning scrolls,
burning
as they
scroll.
say,
Burn,
this is
burn,
midnight.
burn.
Another.
Of
course, Hilligus is just- Sorry, we're burning a lot of Hilligus scrolls here, and of course they're all popping up.
Hilligus is not a very good player. We've all
We've
discussed
got
that.
almost, I think, another Hilligus scroll here.
Is that another Hilligus scroll?
No, we have a different scroll that's come up.
What is it?
We are now on to the 6th pick.
Who could it be, I
And,
wonder?
Well, another champion from last year. Ratto went with a 2nd pick to try and regain his title from last year. Defended, I might say.
What a great title.
His partner,
What a
one
great
of the
title.
nominees for the best tournament team of all time, Levette, is going to be picking right below Clay at number 6.
There you go.
That's an interesting position
Wow.
for him. I think that's about where he was slated.
I wonder
to
if
finish.
Levette is Irish. I mean, he gets lucky.
He's the 3rd lowest scrolls, and he got the 3rd lowest pick. So
Well,
I think
that makes sense, I suppose.
you could see
It'd be
another
nice to see him choose
reunion
last.
of a Levette Phil McCauley team. That we saw in Tweenhart. That would be an interesting team.
I
A lot
mean,
of
the
improvement with
optics of Phil McCauley playing.
But don't sleep on a Delsano pick there. I think Delsano's hungry this year, coming off.
Is he? I mean, he's got married.
Took the last year off with the marriage.
Oh, congratulations, by the way.
Way to go, Delsano.
And didn't he perform very well in a fantasy football league, I hear?
Won the league. In
He
fantasy.
won the
This
league.
could be his year.
I'm going to need another scroll.
scroll.
More
Okay.
scroll, please. I'm
Another
hungry.
scroll, sir.
Please, may
So
I have
obviously,
another?
there's only 2 left. Maloney, Benny are left. Maloney with the most scrolls. Benny could finally get the snub job and be picking last.
Well,
This is
when
gonna be
Benny
interesting.
doesn't...
Maloney always had a high pick, so this will
More
be,
scrolls, please.
this will be kind of just desserts
When,
there.
I know that when Benny doesn't get his
Okay.
way, he turns into a little, whiner.
Well,
Is
we know
he a whiner?
he hasn't produced with the lower competitors. in the past. His team with Delsano at Boulder Creek wasn't good.
More scrolls, please. I'm hungry.
He's had troubles. He played with DTs. That didn't work out.
Well, that should have worked out,
So,
but I understand from what I heard that he did not hold his own on the holy boards. That
well,
was where...
I think there's been a bit of a denigration in his play.
Oh, more scrolls,
Another
please.
scroll.
No, we're
Yeah,
just...
let's just
I'm
keep
getting stuffed on scrolls.
Should I
right
open
now.
the scroll just in case?
No,
so
no,
it's ready to
no.
go?
I think it's proper that we just go through it
It's
one by
getting
one,
close,
one
and
by
almost there.
one, because we're coming down to
Almost
the
there.
nitty gritty dirt band. You like that band, the
Love
nitty
that.
gritty?
You and me go fishing in the dark, lying in the ground, on and by where to do the grass roll.
Oh man!
Nothing there.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
I'm getting a lot of jalapeno in these picks here. I mean, somebody, this guy wanted to
I'm
get.
prep this next scroll for you.
Yeah, do that. I'm going as fast as I possibly
prep this
can
next
here.
scroll. Just
I mean, the
in case.
forefathers really did a great job.
Prep
Whoa!
this scroll. No, just get
Slow
the
down.
tape off for
Yeah,
you.
get the tape off, please. Allow me to do the honors. You know what I
Get the
mean?
tape off for you.
Oh, there we go.
And there's the next scroll.
Wow.
And we've got a winner. We've got ourselves a seventh pick, and everything is now decided. And what is that seventh slot going to reveal?
Well, I hope nobody gets hurt because but if so, the doctor is.
Oh, the doctor is in the house.
That is
The doctor is here. We've got not a very good tape job.
not a great shape job at all. Not a great
Baloney
shape
slides right under the bed. That means that finally,
job.
Mr. Benny is now going to pick last. He's
Yeah.
number one. He's going to pick last. And that
There you
is
go.
how it should be.
As it should be. As it should be.
And there are your draft orders.
Wow. Let's
Wow.
review. Reyes will be drafted first. Rattle will be drafted second. Rosen will be drafting third. Hilligus will be drafting fourth. Clay will be drafting fifth. Levette sixth. Maloney seventh. And John Bettesini the eighth. Bud, talk to me. Where do we go from here?
Wow.
You look at the bottom nine, the bottom eight. You have available to you Spencer Wood, Jones, Simerson, Bugs,
Right.
DTs, Phillip, BJ, Delsano. How's it going to
Well,
work out?
I think initially you got to think the 9-10 players separate themselves. Wood, who is a controversial fall out of the top 8. A lot of folks got him on their number one.
I think if you're going to rank
board.
the top 9 through 9, 10, 11, you got to go DT, Dominic Tomasini, Woods, and then Jones, and then Simerson.
Again,
So
Tomasini
like-
has never, I think, got higher than a 12. He doesn't have the fire burning to win a cup.
I don't know if
I've almost got
it's
him at the
another
bottom
man
of
to
the
like
board.
say, oh, there's he
You
doesn't have
gotta
fire.
look at Jones again. Last year, I picked him and
How many
Levette to be a
times-
team to win it all. He didn't select Levette. Levette won it with Ratto. This year, Reyes won't make that mistake. He will select Jones with his first pick. That will leave the Ratto and Wood team. I think that's an obvious one, too. The question is, what does Rosen do?
Rattle and Wood have already been a team, haven't they? Or am I mistaken? Haven't they? Didn't they team up?
I'd have to look in the research. I have to research that. I
Interesting,
don't know off the top of
interesting.
my head. That does sound familiar.
At some point, Bud, we're going to see a swing pick. It probably goes down to Hilligus, where you have
Right.
you have the cream of the crop and then the crap at the bottom.
Right.
When does that swing happen?
Well, I think DT's is interesting because though you tout him as a top pick, I tout him as a mid-range pick as always. And I think we've heard Clay rumble, but we also know that Clay plays games.
No.
And he might be trying to get folks ahead of him now that he's picking 5 where he thought he might be maybe a couple of slots lower to pick DT so he can get a BJ or Phil in one of these lower slots. He has a real chance of getting DTs if he wants him here. I think if DTs falls to Levette, that could be an interesting tandem. And then also the Phil Levette reunion would be something to look at.
Let's X Factor. Todd Bugby at 12. He's ranked higher than
Right.
DT's, Phil, BJ Delsano, what can we expect from Bugby? He's got a temper problem.
My absolute darling of the draft.
Really?
Todd Bugby.
Bugby.
He's sobered up. I don't think he's had a drop of liquor for months. He looks great. He's coming into Menstown with redemption on his mind. He's got a Townie Award
You
nomination.
mean he's not
He's
gonna
got a
break the
Temper
cup?
Award nomination. He's got a lot to prove. He's performed well in the last few Menstowns, kind of under the radar. Went to a final in Occidental. Was playing well last year. A little bit of controversy. This guy, he may go higher than you think, and if
Really?
he doesn't, he has a real chance of winning a cup
Well,
here
let's put it
in
this
this
way.
range.
If you're one of the top players, or anyone, and you can take a Todd Bugby and get your name on the cup with the Bugby,
Right.
then that is quite a feather in your cap.
Well,
Well, I mean,
I mean, we know DTs couldn't do it 3 years running back in the early men's towns.
Well,
When they were pieced together perennially. I think Bugby is my dark horse to win a cup here, and I think Reyes and Ratto are going to give him a real long look in those preliminary playtime in Menstown.
what is going to happen here as these men, as the tournament approaches? It's 2 weeks away. Will there be phone calls? Will there be text messages? Will there be emails? Will there be consulting going on?
Well, you got to know that the Clay Levette, these guys are aggressive. They want to know what's been going on in the off season. So I think they're maybe not holding tryouts, but they're going to want information. Hilligus takes what he can get. We don't know about Rosen. He comes to Menstown focused and fired up. But we don't know about his.
And
prep
a lot
work.
of this is about relationships.
Right.
People who have known each other for years, people who are kind of new to the scene. Does Rosen have the relationship with the bottom half to take a champion?
Well, he played
to dissect an opponent or a prospect.
Right.
And really, is he going to be doing a lot of interviewing?
Well,
I suppose.
let's face it. He's in the top 8 because he won a cup with the number 1 player. He hasn't done much else. He had
hasn't done
BJ. He
shit.
had BJ and Twainhart. That didn't really work out last year. He was playing with Bugby. They played decent at times, but not enough to win. Is he a guy that can lead a team? And with a pick like this, he's got a real chance
And
here.
that
He
is-
may reunite with Bugby and try to do it again.
Certainly, that is the whole thing. These men are expected to be the leaders of their team.
Right.
You certainly don't. Maybe Rosen will choose a Del Sano or a BJ just because they know they can be the leader. It'd be kind of interesting for a Rosen who hasn't done a whole lot to choose a headstrong person like Jones or
Right.
a Woods who's got a name on the cup but is not in the
Right.
This is a fascinating thing, and there's a lot of storylines and plots that are going to unfold over the next couple weeks. But
It's been such a fantastic.
it's been a great run.
I'm not going to tear up on camera here, but I just want to say
I will. I'll do the
to
tearing up.
Peg and to Baby and to everybody
Peg.
behind the scenes that makes these shows happen. It's just been a fantastic run. We've been up and down. This year almost
Up and down,
didn't
inside,
happen.
outside.
I think there should have been a category about the
Well,
biggest
we should
meltdowns, and
throw a
you
shout
should
out
have been
to-
there. You came back and really made an incredible run here.
I
tonight.
did. Well, and that's another thing. I'm going to thank Papitria for all her
Amazing,
wonderful
amazing
help
nurse.
and bringing me back to life.
Sexy.
And with that said, we are going to sign off. Bud and Bud.
So long, everybody. We will see you in 11 days.
11 days.
Men's 10
Men's
may
10.
live on in the annals of time.
Annals of time, indeed. And may this cup. What will happen? The cup. We'll find out. Good night.
So long, everybody.